if I want to stretch a reading level, if I want to go where I know they won't go on their own in a book. And so we've listened to some harder reads. Howard Pyle's Robin Hood, that is not an easy one to listen to. The language is really complicated.
Right.
But I found that when I would just pause it after a while and say, did you understand what's going on? And then I would retell, I would narrate back. Or they said, what did they say there? And I would explain it. And eventually it's kind of that immersion concept.
Yes,
by the end of the book, I was having to stop less because eventually they're used to that language and they're used to what's going on. Watership Down was another one that I would not want to have to read aloud. There's so many complicated names. I was so thankful someone else was reading it.
Right, exactly.
Such a good story. And again, there were some explanations needed, but to just stop and answer those questions as they came up, to have those conversations, because sometimes the conversations stem from pausing, from stopping the story, and allowing those questions to come up. So
yeah, because you can breeze right past them and then you're not thinking about it, and then you don't hit that subject. So So what did you use as kind of your gauge for when we should stop? Was there certain things that you noticed about your kids, or that you would just kind of keep on your register or did it just kind of happen arbitrarily when you picked?
Yeah, I think it was probably more arbitrary. Of just sometimes it was probably a little of all of that. Sometimes, a kid would say, "What just happened?" and it's time to pause.
Yep.
Or sometimes I would, "Oh, did you catch that? That was so funny," but nobody caught it but me.
Oh,
so I would have to go back and let's look at this again.
Yeah.
So I think it was probably a mix of all of that, of just gauging that and saying, okay, let's stop after a few minutes and see if everybody's following the story, watching them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose, at first your kids probably were like, what is she doing? But, after you do that on a more regular basis, they'll get used to that. Oh, yeah, well, we can stop, or I can ask a question and we can stop that, instead of we just have to listen through. This is just our time to be quiet, and but that conversation is encouraged.
Yes. And it does have to be trained, because some of the older ones get impatient and think, oh, let's just get on with the story, and say, no, this is important. Let's make sure everyone is enjoying this. And so there is some training involved with everybody of, this is how we respect each other, and this is how we can all share this